Good morning and welcome to the Sports Science Center. It's great to have you here. We also welcome those of you watching on our live stream today. I'm Jim Paschke. It's my pleasure to be with you today as we have a momentous announcement. Before we get to that, we are just days away from NBA basketball. As you know, the season starts on Monday with Media Day at Fiserv Forum. The first preseason game in Milwaukee will be October 10th with the Los Angeles Lakers. The regular season will open on the 23rd of October in Philadelphia, and then the home opener is October 25th with the Chicago Bulls. Today we are here for a major ownership announcement and a full circle moment. Junior Bridgeman is rejoining the Bucks organization in an official capacity for the third time. He first joined the Bucks in 1975 after being drafted with the 8th pick by the Los Angeles Lakers. He was traded to Milwaukee in a deal for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He played a successful 9 seasons here as a fan favorite and a sixth man before being traded to the Los Angeles Clippers. In January of 1987, Junior returned to the Bucks to close out his 12-year NBA career, 10 years spent with Milwaukee, until he was recently passed by Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton. No Buck had played in more NBA games than Junior Bridgeman. He is currently third on that list with 711. His number 2 is retired and, of course, graces Fiserv Forum. NBA players are forever grateful for his historic and fearless stand on behalf of free agency in 1988 as president of the NBA Players Association. During his playing career, Junior became involved in fast food restaurants, applying the same work ethic to the business world as he had in the NBA. His subsequent career is regarded as one of the world's most impressive business journeys by a former professional player in any sport. And it continues with a multidimensional conglomerate which he continues to lead. By my count, he has served over time on at least 15 boards of directors, including the PGA of America, Churchill Downs, Meyer Incorporated, the University of Louisville Board of Trustees, the Retired NBA Players Association, and until last week, he was the vice chairman of the Board of Governors for the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. Amazingly and thankfully, he is the same humble, kind, considerate person who first came to Milwaukee 49 years ago. Junior Bridgeman's character is the thread that completes this full circle. We begin with Bucks co-owner Jimmy Haslam.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Hey, good morning. And I think in today's world and our society, things are often embellished and overhyped, et cetera. But I don't think you can overhype today, okay? This is a spectacular basketball player, businessman, and person who's now going to become a key owner of the Milwaukee Bucks. And Jim told about Junior's background, but I just want to speak to it a little bit more. He's from East Chicago, okay? His senior year in high school, no surprise, they went 29-0 and won the state championship. Although a little bit of a curious name, Junior, the Washington Senators. I guess it was the Washington Generals that play the Globetrotters. Yeah. But anyway, went on to Louisville, highly recruited. Junior year, took him to the NCAA tournament. Senior year, lost to UCLA. Marcus is back there smiling in the background by 1 point. UCLA went on to win the national championship. As Jim mentioned, he was the 8th player picked, which tells you he was a spectacular player. 3 weeks later, and I guess in one of the biggest trades in NBA history, he was traded from the Lakers to Milwaukee, where he became a fixture of this franchise, a face of the franchise. During his first 9 years here, was regarded as the best six man in the NBA. Really good player, played for the Clippers 2 years, then came back to finish out his career here. During the later years of his career, guys, I want you to listen to this. Players, when they finished playing, were worried about having enough money to support their families. He bought a Wendy's restaurant with Paul Silas in New York. As Junior said, the partnership went so well, Paul wanted out, and that was probably fortunate for Junior. So he took it over and built it up into one of the largest Wendy's franchisees, had a bunch of Chili's, too, in the country. He then got into Coca-Cola bottle distributing, where he has a significant portion of the Midwest for Coca-Cola and owns all of Canada with Larry Tannenbaum in Canada, and has been a great businessman. His family also owns Jet Magazine and Ebony Magazine. And I don't think we can state enough what a big deal this is for the National Basketball Association, the NBA, and the community of Milwaukee to welcome Junior Bridgeman back as a substantial owner of the Milwaukee Bucks. And it may sound hokey, but I think that deserves a big round of applause because this is a big, big moment. I'll say one other thing, and he's not going to like this, but as good a basketball player as he was, and as good a businessman as he is, he's an even better person, and he's about the most humble person I've ever met. So, Junior, it's a pleasure to welcome you to our ownership group, and you're going to be a great addition. So thank you. This is a big day. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I'll just say a few things, and then we'll turn it back to this, Jim. But you know, when you played here and you became a part of the Bucks organization, even when you left, you never felt like you were not a part of the organization. Even if you came to games and things like that, and we did, and I'm just thinking back over the years with coming back and some of the guys that would be here, Bobby Dandridge and Oscar Robertson and some of the guys, that you always felt like you were a part of the organization and a part of the community. So when this opportunity presented itself, it just seemed like a natural thing for me to get a chance to be part, not just in heart, but physically, of the organization going forward. So it was a natural, and I thank Jim on this side and Wes and for coming with the opportunity, and just very blessed to be in a position to take advantage of it. And I just look forward to watching those guys over there win basketball games. And one thing we couldn't do, we never won a championship, so Dot, it's on you, but I'm not putting any pressure on you. But I'll stop there and turn it over to Jim.
All right, thank you. Congratulations, Junior, and Jimmy, congratulations to you and the ownership group as well. We would like to introduce Doc Rivers. Just say hello. Thank you for being here. John Horst. I'm looking around the room here. I'm going to miss people, but Marcus Johnson is here, my partner, who once told Junior Bridgeman no one would buy square hamburgers. He did say that, right?
He did say that.
When you bought your first Wendy's. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you knew somebody named Dave Thomas at the time, though. So.
Gentlemen, players, thank you. I see Vin Baker in the back, all the guys, Chris Middleton. Thank you for being here. We open it up for questions now, and we would ask that you would state your name and your affiliation for those who are watching on our live stream, and fire away.
Eric named The Athletic. Congratulations, Junior. Just for you, team ownership, being a part of something like this, why was that something that's attractive to you, and just kind of what are your thoughts on making this kind of acquisition?
Well, I think it was important, like I said, you always felt a part of the organization anyway, even though you hadn't played in a long time, but it was still a part of you, something you did, something we as players struggled to win sometimes, so all those ups and downs become a part of you, and so even when you can't do it anymore, you don't lose that. So the opportunity to get back involved with the team in a different way and to take advantage of it was something that was kind of a dream. And I think a lot of players have that same dream and want to do that. But, you know, there are a lot of smart basketball people, but I'd like to, if I could, at some point in time, be able to help the guys in life and in the business world, because I had that same help when I was a player, and it came from Jim Fitzgerald, who owned the team. And I've given him credit a number of times for helping me understand business and really get to where I am with a lot of comments and breakfast conversations and things over the years.
Ben Steele, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Jimmy, for you, you're relatively new to the city and the team. How much did you know about Junior? How much did you have to get to know him?
Well, in our former life, with Pilot Flying J, we were also a big Wendy's franchisee, and we had like 100, which is a pretty good number, and he had like 5 or 6 times. So I was always pushing our people. How do we catch Junior Bridgeman? How do we catch Junior Bridgeman? And I knew him reputationally, and then a good friend of ours from Louisville helped put us together. Junior said, do you know the ownership group? And he says, yeah, one of my best friends is one of the owners. And Junior came down and watched a practice with us at the Browns and had lunch, and we went to a game in, I believe, Charlotte together. And since then, have spent a lot of time together. And I don't want to be redundant, but just tremendously excited to have him as a partner, as are Jamie, Wes, Mike, et cetera.
Steve McGarkey, Associated Press. Virginia, congratulations. Just wondering if you could get more into detail with the interaction with players, helping them out with their post-playing careers. How would you like to do that, and how much interaction have you had with players in this before now?
Well, as the years have gone on, well, let me go back. When I first got into the business world, maybe 4 or 5 years into it, I would go talk to the rookies for the NBA, and we'd talk about life after basketball, but it was difficult because they hadn't started life in basketball yet. And so a few years ago, I went around and talked to some of the teams just about business world, and they all wanted to know how you got involved in the restaurant business and on and on. And so I would tell them that, but I'd also tell them all the pitfalls. And I think those are the things that are more important than the successes. Is, you have to be concerned about this, you have to look out for that. And if you can help them in any way, if they have those type questions or going forward, I think that would be as helpful as, anything you can say about playing basketball.
Andrew Wagner with Forbes Sports. Jimmy, the Bucks have a rather large ownership group, and the NBA does have a size limit. I'm just curious if you can kind of explain a little bit where maybe his shares come from. Is anyone leaving the group, and are the Bucks still underneath that cap?
Yeah, good question. About a year ago, there were some owners that had small percentages, 0.5%, 1%, that wanted to tender their stock. So the company, if you would, bought them in and resold those to Junior. So the primary ownership group, I think everybody knows, is Wes, Jamie, myself, Junior, and Mike Fascitelli, and then there's several others who have, a small percentage.
Dylan Hunter Carter with Good Karma Brands and 620 WTMJ. Congratulations, Junior. I was wondering, over the years, what is it about Milwaukee and this community that's resonated with you to the point where you wanted to invest in the team here and the players here?
Well, it wasn't just the team. I mean, I've been involved in business here ever since, even before I stopped playing. And so you say, why Milwaukee? And as someone told me, you either are going to love it here or you're going to go somewhere else. And so we decided to start our business and everything here, and kids and all of that, were born here. So, and the community and the work ethic of all the people. I mean, this is just a put your nose to the plow, get things done type community, and it's just a place where you want to do well because everybody appreciates you when you do that. And I just think about playing in the old Milwaukee arena and the fans there and, how great they were. And before every game, one guy would yell, "Let's go Buccos!" And, how do I still remember that? Because that is a part of the whole, whatever you want to call it, of playing in Milwaukee and being a part of Milwaukee.
Zoe Henry with W. Okay. Zoe Henry with WISN 12 News. So, Junior, the legacy of the Bucks ownership is keeping the team in Milwaukee. Why does that matter to you?
I've said that even when people have asked, along 10, 12 years ago when there was rumors of the team possibly going to this city or that city, I said that cannot happen. And they'd say, well, why is that? I said, the people here deserve to have a team. They've supported the team even when those years when we weren't very good, they still supported the team. They support them now. Why would you move the team from here? And you can talk about, well, you can get more TV money or TV contracts. It's not about that. It's about the Bucks belong in Milwaukee.
Junior, Dennis Krause, Spectrum News 1, welcome back. Two questions. What was it like to play against Doc? And secondly, the Bucks and the NBA have changed so much since you played. What are the things that you like about what the NBA is now?
Well, I was fortunate. I didn't have to play one-on-one during the games against Doc. Sidney Moncrief had to play against, and Doc had to guard him. And Doc was, don't tell him, but he was a dirty ball player. He was a hard-nosed defensive player and a great athlete. And the only mistake he made in life was when I recruited him out of high school to go to Louisville, he chose somewhere else. But no, Doc, you know, he's a great player, great basketball mind. And I just lost your second question. Oh, how the game has changed totally. You think back to my time, it was a big center, you know, Bob Lanier or someone like that around the basket, and what you wanted to do was get the ball in as close to the basket as you could because your percentage of making it would go up. So our plays were a lot of that and making the 15-footer, 12-foot shot. And all of that's changed now. You know, it's a wide open game. It's a lot of passing. It's three-pointers from everybody. It's big people handling the ball now. I think maybe even a quicker game, even though you still have the shot clock, but a totally different game than the game that I played, you know, not that many years ago.
Hey, Junior, over here on your left. When the Bucks, when Senator Cole sold the franchise, were you interested in were you a suitor for the franchise at that point? And if not, why was now the right time compared to then?
You know, I talked to Senator Cole back then, and it just didn't feel right at that time. And now it does, and not just because of, you know, Jimmy and Wes and Jamie, but it just feels right. Now, would I have loved to have been 20 years younger? Yeah, you know, and be more involved, but sometimes you just have to go how life takes things. And I think that's just the timing and everything just happened to be for this point in time in my life and in history. So.
Eric named The Athletic again over here. Jimmy, just for you, there's no shortage of people that want to be a part of ownership groups. What does it mean to you to bring in a former Buck, a guy whose jersey is retired up in the Raptors?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you could have found, if you said, all right, let's find somebody to add as a partner. He's number one, and I can't think who would be number two. I mean, I'll just reiterate, former star player, face of the franchise, successful business person, great character. That's what you're looking for. And the fact that he understands this community really better than Wes, Jamie, and Mike and I do, because he's been here, played here, lived here. As you heard, he started his business career here. His kids were here. I mean, I started by saying you can't understand or underestimate how big a moment this is for the franchise.
All right. Congratulations to the Bucks. Junior, congratulations. We thank all of you for attending today, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.